Okay, I'm still getting ready and my camera looks crazy. Um, oh, it's this one up here. Oh, I got all of the lights. Okay, that's it. Better. I am going to, right here. Okay, so I'm gonna give it a few minutes. Let a couple of people join. For those who are going to end up watching replays, welcome. Thank you for joining. And there's a few people here with me in person that's going to be going through the ritual as well. I am going to turn my camera off for a second because I have things kind of everywhere and just right at my table, so it'll be easier to go through um, the ritual. Greetings. You have to swipe the video.
How you doing? Good evening.
I am just going in and posting to make sure everybody knows where to join, and then we're going to get started. How are you?
I'm doing well. Just wrapping up dinner, like making dinner real quick. How you doing?
Amazing. I almost slept right through this.
I completely understand.
It's like it's 7:20. I slept all day, and then I had to jump up.
That's
Okay.
probably what you needed to rebound.
I know. So I'm not mad at it at all. Just a little, starting a little bit later than uh, I wanted to.
No, you're good.
Okay, so I'm gonna give it just a few minutes because I saw a couple of people had joined and some people had RSVP'd. I'm gonna go in the group and just comment so people can see where to join, and then I'll be right back and I'll turn my camera on.
Okay, sounds good.
Oh, okay, let's see. Can I see myself? All right, well, I've made the post. Hopefully the others will join, but I'm just gonna get started now. So for those of you that are new that end up watching this replay, haven't met me, I'm Goddess LaMeel. Tonight we're doing a full moon ritual. And so this one has 3 parts. So if you're new to me in general, I try to keep things very simple. Um, I put a list of the supplies that I'm using tonight, but if you are not familiar with the full moon energy, it peaked yesterday. So we have 7 days of this energy. Okay, usually the 3 days leading up to the peak day and then the 3 days after. So even if you're watching this or you end up on the replay, or you're here now and don't have everything and want to go through it, you have Monday, Tuesday, right, to do this ritual on your own. Sometimes we get into it and it's like, oh, I should have added this or I wanted to get rid of it. You have time. Okay. I'm going to run through what I'm going to use today. And then I'll talk about the moon. And then there's 3 parts to this ritual. But anyway, what I'm using are candles. And so almost every ritual I do has fire. It happens to be one of my favorite methods, but you don't have to use fire. And when I use fire, you can actually use any kind of candle, right? You can even use, if you're in a space, which I know some of you are that you can't light candles, you can use LED lights, right? It is simply a representation. And yes, there's times when we use candles and then we want to read it for the results. But if you're not using a candle that can melt down, there's different ways to test the result, which is for another class. But briefly, that is that you should have your own energy signature. Okay, so then when you do a ritual, a simple one, a complicated one, or what have you, based on how your energy signature comes back, it lets you know how successful your work was, your manifestation, if there's any blocks, if there's anything that needs to go on in general. So it doesn't have to be a full candle. And tonight, while I'm here on live, I'm going to use tea light candles. And then I'll also use 7-day candles. You can also use like those 3-day candles from the dollar store. Or I think some practitioners sell 3-day candles, whatever. Crystals, we're going to use rose quartz. They don't have to be big, right? And then the rose quartz is for self-love. I'm using citrine for abundance, wealth, and then I'm going to use this clear quartz for the amplification of the work I'm doing. So I'm going to use that for charging. And then the herbs, you just want to clean your space. There's no specific herbs that you need today. You can use cinnamon, you can burn cinnamon, you can burn lavender, you can burn Palo Santo, you can burn sage. So we already did that. And I like to use sound. So I used just the bell to clear the space and the energy. Since we're inside, I'm using my smaller cauldron for this particular room. And then I have a bigger one that I can have outside. And like everybody here, we can put all of our stuff in there once we get outside and just let it go up in flames. That's typically how I complete my rituals. So tonight I'm not going to talk about burning it, but you can, right? You can put this under the candle, which is what we're going to do, and then you can save it. But when I'm done, I burn everything. But again, that's part of my signature thing. I light it on fire and I let it go. Either I let it go to get rid of it, or I let it go so it can go do its thing and bring me back what it is that I asked for. So that's your waterproof bowl. Outside of what else is fireproof? What else is fireproof besides cast iron? I don't know.
I mean, I have a ceramic.
Are they fireproof?
I don't know, that little the green one I use a lot to burn the sage. I like small stuff when I'm doing like quick petitions for my altar. I burn it in that, and I've used it for years. I got it from the dollar store, the ceramic bowl.
So yeah, if you have ceramic, I was just thinking like I don't even know what else is actually fireproof if you are just starting, or
you have a cast iron and ceramic.
Some people don't do like regular rituals, but they do the full moon, new moon type of thing. Okay, so the bowl of water, right? And that is just for emotional cleansing. And then, of course, when you're alone, we've got sound, we've got tarot, they've got side jokes, but we didn't talk about that.
No, girl, no.
So we're gonna 3 separate rituals, one after the other, right? So the first one we're gonna release during a full moon. Almost always, you either do nothing if it's like retrograde, if it's a void of moon, things like that, or you release. I know people are all over the social media every full moon talking about use it to manifest, use it to manifest, use it to manifest. It is a time of releasing. Typically, you want to release whatever blocks, whatever has already come up that is stopping you. Yeah, this is the best time. This is an exception. Okay, so we are in the full pink moon.
Yeah, I know, but
You
I
know,
never pay attention to that because I was like,
right. So of course
didn't
it's not going to
realize.
be pink. It's because this time of year the flowers bloom and
Mhm.
they're pink, right? And it looks really big because of its proximity to the earth. So this particular moon, though, with its placement, it's safe to do both. Like, but
Yeah.
you release, even if you don't believe me and you've had success manifesting on a full moon,
I would still say
release
before.
first, right?
Yeah.
I would release first and then do the manifestation. And let me see. And you guys in here, like, I'm talking, and I don't think we've met before, but like it's really not a lecture. So if you want to join in the conversation, please feel free. Do you normally manifest on the full moon?
Absolutely not. I always do releasing work around the full moon. But can you just explain a little bit more about why? I know it's like some type of, is it super moon, the pink moon or whatever? Can you talk a little bit about why this particular moon might be okay for manifesting for some people?
Because of its placement, right? So this moon happens to be in Taurus, and it has a lot to do with
Libra.
Oh, Leo. I'm sorry.
No, Libra.
It's Leo. And you know what? I actually wrote it down as Aries. So like I'm already I know. I wrote it down and I was like, it's not Aries moon. Just calm down. Because my birthday is this week. So like I'm ready for it. And I'm looking at Diana and she's a Taurus. And I typically like it ain't it.
Happy early birthday. My birthday was this past week.
So
put your finger down. I'm going to talk to you.
You have months to go. So it's more because of its placement, right? So the emphasis on relationships, the fact that it is a super moon. If you've ever done quantum leaping, I'm gonna need you, ma'am, to leave my money alone. If you've ever done quantum leaping,
about to hit the street.
Listen.
My mama's money. She was good for the moon. I'm listening, sorry.
It's a super moon. If you've ever done quantum leaping, we quantum leap during super moons, or we quantum leap first to a super moon, right? Because of its magnification. What are you talking about? Yes, they are.
That is real. Hold on. See, listen, Linda. What did I say? She borrowing my.
I brought some money to burn, and they're messing with it. But because of the magnification that a supermoon has, manifesting, right, and using it to amplify.
Mm-hmm.
So when it's a super moon, as long as there's no other contradictory things going on, you can manifest with it because it is a huge magnification of what your work is. So that's why this moon we're doing a step that is about manifesting.
Okay.
I though would even word it when you write your intention, still in a way that says I'm removing everything that stops me from this, right? Just because that's my school of practice, right? So yeah, and it is a Libra moon. For anybody who watches this replay, I'm just ahead of myself completely. So the first ritual that we're doing is releasing the stuff that no longer serves us, right? And so we've already cleansed the space. The sounds are for the grounding, but the ritual itself is writing on a piece of paper that emotion, situation, feeling that you want to release. Now, if you know what it is, right, and you can simplify it, I would. If it's a situation, I would still write it in terms of feelings, the emotion of what you're releasing, keeping it in the the language of your emotions is easier for your body, for manifesting. It makes things really clear, right? If you start writing like, I need to release, so and so because they ain't shit, and like it's convoluted, right? But if that situation makes you feel helpless, powerless, confused, dysregulated, right? That's what you want to eliminate. That's the core of why that person is part of your circle right now, because you're magnetizing that. So you want to get rid of those emotions or that feeling. And then when you no longer have the feeling, you no longer resonate with what they're offering, and they fall down by default. So when you're writing, unless you are scripting, it is better to keep it to your emotions. Um, if you've ever seen the emotional guidance scale, it to me makes that self-explanatory, right? So if somebody or a situation makes you feel worthless, and that's down here, and you're trying to get rid of that because your next step is just to feel neutral about everything, then everybody associated and everybody that's attracted to you from that frequency of worthlessness dissipates, because now they can't touch you. You're on a different frequency. So I'm gonna, when I write I'm trying to make notes because this is one of the first ones where there's a lot of people that don't know me. So when I write petitions, when I write and I'm manifesting, I never do it on straight edge paper. I always tear off the paper because I want it as natural as possible. I tend to use paper bags and stuff that come from like the Britannica or the metaphysical stores, or I use parchment paper. So it has a rough edge. So the first thing you're going to want to do is literally
Why are you looking at this?
get your paper and write it down. The essential oils that can be used, I'm using my iconic oil. This is an oil that I sell in the apothecary that has a lot of the other oils that I've listed, which is like rose, bergamot. What was the other oil? This has it in it. Patchouli. All right. And then for my mirror, since I can see myself, I know you lying. Since I can see myself in the camera, I'm using the camera as my mirror. So when I say the affirmations, I'm just saying it right into the camera. So you are free to follow along.
Tell us about a mirror. I didn't.
Yeah,
mirror. I don't have a mirror.
You have your phone.
It's playing music.
You can't just.
You know what? Oh yeah. How about you take? I'll use my phone.
So the other thing about this, and I didn't really go into it, but when we do rituals, and we're pretty light about our rituals, but the purpose of the ritual is to focus your energy. So you can be as light and playful or serious and intense as you need to be to get your energy focused. But all of the steps, all of the things that you do is really about helping you focus. That's why you write it down. You write it down in you write it down in um, on paper. It helps you clarify. So the music stopped. It threw me off. So it helps you clarify, right?
Let's take it apart.
But you don't need it. At the end of the day, you are the magic, right? You're the magic. So the goal here is to get to a place where you can say, this is the emotion that I'm releasing, and you're doing this. You can do it on a full moon by yourself, right? Without the tools, without the everything. You should be able to. As you build up to that, the more the tools that you use, the more you get focused, the more you're practiced into it. It's like meditating, right? The more practiced you are into it, you can then meditate drinking coffee, and you can meditate on a walk, and you can, right? It doesn't have to be, total silence, sounds, and all of the other things that you need to get to a certain brainwave. So I'm going to write down what I'm releasing. I'm going to write down what you're releasing on your paper.
You don't have to, it's up to you. Whatever you like. If you eat the whole thing, eat the whole thing, you don't have to go.
Once you have it written down, I want you to read it to yourself, right? And I'm not going to burn in here. We're going to burn outside. But you're going to, we're burning it. The burning it is the release, right? I'm letting it go. I'm getting rid of it. It no longer serves me. And I just thought of something else. I'm releasing it. I'm letting it go. So I'm going to fold this away from me. And I'm simply dropping it into the bowl. Okay. And that I will eventually, I'll set that on fire when we go outside, but it's in here. Now that I'm done, I'm going to cleanse myself and my hands in my bowl of water. Completely cleansed. Let that go, right? Because that's a different energy. Water cleanses, so you can move on to the manifestation part of this. So when you're ready, and so I'll wait for everyone here to be ready, then we will say the affirmation together. And then you guys can put it in the bowl. And these torch lighters are awesome for setting stuff on fire if you're not burning in your fire pit. So you guys can just add yours to the bowl and then cleanse your hands in the water. Hold away. Right? Because everything is going away. So when you're doing a ritual, all of the things like how you write, how you fold paper, what candles you can incorporate the colors, all of those things into it. And now that you have added it to the bowl, wash your hands in the water. That cleanses, especially cold water. It stops the transmitting of energy immediately. And then you're going to simply recite, I release what no longer serves me, and I am free and open to new blessings. So I release what no longer serves me, and I am free and open for new blessings. Y'all two are the absolute silliest. Okay, so second phase of this is.
Did you say your affirmation?
Yeah. So the second phase of this is enhancing your self-love and your attraction. This is it's like magnetism, right? We're self-love and attraction. All you're doing is you are becoming more magnetic, right? Your ability to attract is increasing. That's the focus here. We're not going to attract anything specific, anyone specific. I never do people.
My man.
So this includes the mirror work. So you're going to want to set up your mirror, or if you are on here, you can turn your camera on if you want, so you can see yourself. I'm using rose quartz crystal. I am going to, now if you don't have a crystal, that's fine. You can anoint your hands because I'm going to do that too. I'm also going to, this is amazing. It doesn't matter. It's over a year old, this formula, and it is literally, I absolutely love it. So I'm using Iconic. So I anointed my
I know you just told a vent about something else though.
okay.
That's Baku.
Oh, there you go. You can use that. Again, you can use patchouli, rose, bergamot if you don't have Iconic. So this is the mirror work. So I'm going to yeah. Listen, you hear the sniffing? It's because the oil is so amazing. I promise you, this is my absolute favorite. My absolute favorite. And literally, I probably have like 2 bottles left. The next batch gets made under the Taurus new moon. So looking in the mirror, I'm going to say the affirmations. You guys repeat after me. But this is the mirror work. I'm getting these weird messages, so let me move on. The first one is I am deeply in love with the woman I am becoming.
Oh, you want to say out loud?
No, you don't have to, but I give time so you could say it in your head. Yo, here's the thing. We didn't start this with cacao, and we probably should have. Welcome to us. Like, it looks different every time. And we try to stay playful, as playful as possible. So the next affirmation is I radiate confidence, softness, and divine magnetism. I am a magnet for love, joy, and sacred partnership. I honor my body, my voice, and my need for support. I only attract relationships that are respectful, honest, and aligned. I am desirable, worthy, and always enough. I give myself sets. I give myself, I didn't write that correctly. So I love that I set standards for myself for how others love me, is what I'm trying to say. So I love that I set the standard for how others love me. I receive love in ways that are expansive, supportive, and nurturing. I allow myself to be seen, celebrated, and adorned. I trust that love finds me in perfect timing and in perfect form. So now you would want to apply some of this oil. It should be all over your hands to your heart center. And I always have a group of people that don't really like to share publicly, but this is the time where you can either journal about what you love about yourself. You can share what you love about yourself out loud.
Not fast. So, hopefully that wasn't too loud.
Everybody heard you.
Oh,
Okay, so right. So think about what do you love about yourself, right? This in this energy, the reason that these oils are picked or selected is because they help take you to a different frequency. So essential oils, just like herbs, just like sound, can elevate your frequency. And so these um, particular this particular blend and these other essential oils put you on that same frequency. So the affirmation that we're going to end this part of the ritual with is I am love. I attract relationships that honor and uplift me. I promise you're going to want to get this oil. Like I feel like I haven't worked with it in months and it's amazing. So we're going to go on to the next um, stage of this ritual, which is about wealth and lifestyle upgrade. Okay. Um, so if you have iconic, put some more on, do the inhaling process. And I want you to close your eyes and visualize your abundant life, the details, the feelings, who you're with, what you're doing, um, all of those things. What does the new abundant life look like? And it can be your next stage. And for some people who haven't had a lot of real success in tangible success in manifesting, I suggest you do your next stage. So if your next stage is you just have a new job, your next stage is like you no longer have to go to work. Um, those would be your next stages instead of, I'm a millionaire. Um, if you have a business, what does it look like to have double the sales? If you're not in a relationship, what does it look like to be out dating and being able to take your pick of who you want to be with, right? Um, because this is something that you can come back to. This is something that you can do at any time. Remember, you are literally a walking altar. So you can do this at any time, any place, with whatever tools that you have or without any tools. So when you hit that marker, right, then you elevate to the your next step instead of jumping into being rich, being on a yacht. Like you can see that, but unless you have the capacity to know what that feels like, until you've been able to hone in on what that super level, that ultimate level feels like, it stays unattainable. But if you are able to hone in on your um, the feeling of that next step. And usually that next step has a lot of relief in it, right? It has a lot of joy in it. It has a lot of, self affirmation, like, bitch, I did that. I'm a badass. Like, and it gives you something to build on. So now I want you to take a piece of paper, and write your intention, your specific financial goal, right? And you can write out what the goal is and then what those emotions are that are associated. So, Okay. And then once you're done, you're going to pull that away from you. I use my oil to anoint the paper. And this one, you don't have to burn it to release it. Once you anoint the paper, you can set the paper down on a fireproof um, plate, tray, what have you, and then simply light the candle. And you can anoint the candle as well, right? So for the wealth and lifestyle, most people use green candles. I typically have more success with pink candles and with pink candles and orange candles. So completely up to you. I'm also going to anoint my citrine candle because I'm going to use this candle. I'm putting this on top as well. So they're side by side, the candle and the crystal on top of what my intention is, so that the candle is charged, and it's best if you've already cleansed that candle. But what you're doing is programming your candle, right? As you anoint that candle, you can literally whisper to her exactly what her goal is. Um, so she knows her purpose, right? And then you've anointed her, you're going to charge her, let her sit on top of the intention with the candle. When the candle is out, then your crystal is charged. Uh-oh. My battery's low. Let me plug it in. Um, and then you can set her wherever you want, right? If she's one that you carry, if she's one that you wear on your neck, this one will be one that I have sitting where I work, because it's about the wealth and the attraction and the up level of my lifestyle, right? Um, and then she's ready to go. When you are thinking about what you want, if you spend a little bit of time with your crystal holding it, I would meditate with it. Um, your Wednesdays and Friday mornings, we do a meditation. So this will be the crystal that I'll be meditating with moving forward for the next 30, 45 days. And because she holds the frequency now of what it is I'm trying to manifest, what it is that I'm bringing in. So I'll sit with her, I will meditate. It increases her ability to attract, and it raises my frequency to where I'm trying to get to. So the affirmation that you recite to end this is: abundance flows to me effortlessly. I am aligned with wealth and luxury. So if you're not a meditator, you can take that affirmation and use it when you do touch the candle. Use it in the morning when you are getting ready or before you start work, right? Incorporate that affirmation into what you're doing with the crystal, because the crystal now is going to be drawing, right? And you want to keep your resonance. Every time I'm in this room, I get like a lot of mucus. I don't know if it's mucus draining. I don't know, but it's a yuck. So I don't know. I'm going to be in here. I might go into the office uh, for recording. But anyway, that's how you use this, right? Because it's not like you did it, you walked away, you're done, right? You want to now, right? You've released what doesn't serve you. You are increasing your self love. So this crystal with my self love will be in the bathroom. So when I'm doing my skincare routine, when I'm taking care of me, she'll be on the side of the tub, that type of thing. She's charged with increasing my self love. So when I'm doing my affirmations and meditation, then that's the crystal I'll be using over the next 45 days. You want to do your ritual and go into embodiment. I think we lost some people because we were so silly. Yeah. The angle of this camera always makes my boobs look huge. Okay, um, so mindful actions when you're journaling, journal with the crystal, right? The crystals and the oils raise your frequency. So keep them with you when you're doing those particular activities. That's the whole point of them. Yes, you can put them around the house and they make great decoration. Yes, they make the house smell good, but they shift your frequency. So you want to use them. And then you want to take salt baths and milk baths regularly to keep yourself cleansed so that you don't, the stuff that you take on. And okay, so you're going to have to go to my page because I can't do everything in this hour. But you need to destroy you and everything around you and everything that you engage with and all the people you engage with and the things that you may have picked up throughout the day, every day at the end of the day. So I'll do a video on it, but it helps, right? And I've tried it where I'm doing it and I have so much peace and I'm so undisturbed. And then I stop because I have so much peace and I'm undisturbed. And literally, the situations come back or the people start bugging the shit out of me. Like, it's absolutely amazing how that works. The other thing that I would do is I've got some money here. So I would anoint the money with your oil. And if you are in a safe space, um, keep your crystals on top of the money, right? Fan, anoint it. It's, listen, my money would smell so good. The only problem with my oils, if you anoint your money with it, sometimes the ATM won't take it. So you got to go in if you want to deposit it later. But even when that happens, like the bank tellers are like, you could tell they're sniffing on my, trying not to be obvious, but they're sniffing on my cash. And it makes my wallet smell good. You can cleanse, you wipe your wallet down. I feel like everybody's pulling into my driveway while I sit at this thing. It feels like they're like, anyway, and you just want to stay engaged, right? So if you're struggling, post it. If you've had some success, post it so we can cheer you on, give you suggestions, that type of thing. Your clear quartz crystal, when you put it with your citrine or your rose quartz, it is a magnifier. So having clear quartz, if you have two, that's even better. So you can put one with each, but they magnify it. So now you've got something anchored and charged with your intention. You're magnifying it, and then you spend time with it. Like, you can't beat it. So I'm going to close the circle of manifesting, right, with the mantra, I am love, I am light, I am magnetic, I receive the love that matches my frequency. So we're receiving what matches our frequency. And sometimes we're getting shit that we don't want. It really isn't because you're not worthy. It doesn't even necessarily mean that you're feeling unworthy. In general, you could feel unworthy about something specific. You could have not forgiven yourself for something specific. And then the people and situations will show up that magnify that, right? So, or you are hiding yourself, like you're not being authentically yourself, like you are afraid, like, I don't want to do this. I don't want people to know this is who I am or how I am. So you're not showing up for yourself. And how that um, translates is you have people who don't show up for you, people who don't support you, people who, are bullshitters because you're not showing up for yourself because you haven't set that standard, right? You're not meeting that standard. And so you don't have like this energetic minimum about who you are and how you're to be treated. And yes, there are sometimes we're at a low point, right? And I think all women have had a really shitty relationship in the past. And some of us get away with no kids, and some of us get away and you have kids. So there's always this energetic tie. But when you raise your frequency or adjust your frequency, you can eliminate some of the drama. The way you get out of those relationships is you change your frequency. Does it happen overnight? No, because usually those crazy assholes are persistent. They continue to show up. You know, you still have to go through your growth and your development. Sometimes they never go away, but how they engage with you will be different because your frequency has changed. Sometimes they're so attuned to you and they're so connected to you that if you have a dip in your energy or frequency, they sense that and they show back up because that's when you are most vulnerable. So the key is to work at maintaining a higher frequency. And then they crash out by themselves, right? They're still experience. It's not that they've changed. They're still experiencing and going through the same cycle, but you are either less affected or not affected at all, or completely unaware, or maybe you're aware but unaffected. However, it needs to work for you, because you're not on the same frequency. Maybe the crash out becomes humorous. You know what I'm saying? And I got a girlfriend who is like, she'll add to the fire just because she's looking for the entertainment of the crash out. So whatever works for you, whatever is your next level, because for some of us, it's like, oh no, I don't want anything to do ever. And then for some people, like my girlfriend is like, let me see how far I could push the crash out. You know, it just depends on where you are, what you like. And so there's no judgment. It's just your next level, right? And just because you have shitty people around you, be it a significant other or ex, a spouse, a parent, a sibling, a frenemy, a coworker, right? It doesn't mean that you're always at a low frequency. It means that at one point you matched and there was a resonance. The more that you are agitated by that person, the more there is a resonance. You can be in the same environment and not really engage if you guys are not resonating. You live in the same house, you have to do more work to not resonate with the people around you. So more meditating, more crystal work, more oils. You do those type of things, and more energy work. So before I end this, and also, I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, but like when I do uh, spiritual work, right? My sugar level goes down, right? Like I need more sugar. It takes a lot out, especially if I didn't do like a raising and locking of my energy prior to, which is important. But when you do consciousness work, and spiritual work, you need to not just stay hydrated, but also keep your sugar levels up. Don't drink my jar. It's my moon water. Okay, so we're gonna tap and then we're gonna close. Okay.
Not tap, girl, bye.
So I don't know if you're familiar with EFT tapping. We're gonna tap because we want to tap in. You want my blanket?
Go back.
My blanket? Look here.
Don't touch on the floor.
Don't put my blankie on the floor. Okay. So we're gonna tap.
I need this blanket.
No,
Go back.
that's my blanket. Okay, so we're gonna do an EFT tapping session. This session has 3 rounds, and it is designed to release whatever it is that you tried to release or intended to release. during the first ritual, and to solidify your increased self-love and attraction, and to level up your wealth, right? So I would put some of the oil on your third eye. I also put it on the bottom of my feet. And tapping is with 2 fingers. For those who don't know, we start here. This is the karate chop point. We do here, at the center of the eyebrows, here on the side of the eyebrows, under the eyes, under the nose, the chin. We're going to do the collarbone. We do under the arm, right at the bra line, and then we do the top of the head. Okay. So, and we just keep doing the same rounds. So I'll say the statement while tapping, and then you say the statement, and then we go to the next one. All right. Well, we're going to start on the karate chop point. So repeat after me. Even though I've been holding on to pain, fear, and old stories, an energy that no longer serves me, I honor where I've been, and I'm open to releasing it now. Start with the eyebrows. All this old pain I've been carrying. Side of the eye, the lies, the fear, the manipulation, the heaviness. Under the eye, I'm ready to release it now. Under the nose, I've learned what I needed to learn. Chin, I don't need to carry this anymore. Collarbone, I am not the pain of my past. Under the arm, I'm choosing freedom tonight. Top of the head, under this full moon, I release it all. Eyebrows, I am light. I am free. I choose peace. I forgive myself and others. The chin, I rise now. Collarbone, I am ready for new energy. Under the arm, I am safe to let it go. Top of the head, I now embody release and renewal. We're going to go back to the karate chopping for the self-love portion. Even though I've sometimes doubted my worth and withheld love from myself, I am open to deeply loving and accepting myself now. Eyebrows, I've judged myself before. I've believed I wasn't enough. Under the eye, but that's no longer my truth. Under the nose, I am whole, I am worthy, I am beautiful. Chin, I radiate divine energy. I attract love by being love. I respect and adore myself. Top of the head, my energy is magnetic and sacred. So this is the affirmation round. I love who I am. I am radiant. I attract aligned, loving energy. I am worthy of devotion and care. I speak love to myself daily. I am safe to shine. My heart is open and protected. I am the embodiment of love. This is our last round. We're going to go back to karate chop point. This is to lock in our wealth and lifestyle upgrade. Even though I've believed wealth wasn't for me or felt afraid to ask for more, I choose now to upgrade my life. and align with divine abundance. Eyebrows. I release any blocks to receiving. I let go of scarcity and struggle. I am ready to live in overflow. Wealth is my divine birthright. I deserve luxury, ease, and joy. My lifestyle is expanding beautifully. Money flows to me effortlessly. Top of your head, I am open to miraculous upgrades. Our affirmation round. I am worthy in every way. My bank account reflects my divine value. I am a match for high frequency living. I welcome luxury with grace. I'm a magnet to wealth. I rise with ease. Abundance is my abundance is my birthright. Like, I'm not sure what was going on there. Take a deep breath and release. So I know some people came in right at the end. Welcome. This was recorded, so it was only scheduled for an hour. I am absolutely amazed that I kept it kind of like at an hour. So if you guys have questions, I'm gonna put the replay in the main section on the, I don't even know what it's called, but it'll be there and you'll get a notification. You can watch the whole thing through. We went through 3 levels of ritual. So we started with a release, an increasing of our self-love, and then calling in more wealth and financial abundance. So if you guys have any questions or want to talk or just say hi, you can do that. I was going to pull some cards now and kind of let the energy set in before we close out. Anybody want a card? Anybody want a card? And there are some people here with me live as well. Nobody's talking to us. So, you want a card? Oh, you want a card? All right.
Oh my God. Wow.
So I just want to welcome you guys. I don't recognize the names, but
Yeah, can you pass me that water down?
what?
The water, you don't see that right there?
The one you threw over there.
I didn't throw it. Okay, so I'm gonna pull a card. Oh, someone asked for a card. Okay, so let me do Aaliyah. She's here. She asked for a card for me. Okay, let's fix it. All right, so I'm gonna do Aaliyah first, and then I'll get to who was that? Shannon. All right, and I always say cards, but we'll see what shows up. Listen, so when I pull cards, remember you have to relax, right? The more relaxed you are, the more the energy flows, the more cards come, right? You can't, when your energy is like really tight, it tightens the cards. So look at there. All right. So always take a deep breath when I get ready to pull. So you ended up with
Too many.
with 4 cards. So let's see here. You have the Empress and you have the 7 of Summer, the Ace of Spring, and the 8 of Summer. But this is about, all of this is about action. Stop procrastinating, okay? So the 7 of Summers is like, you've been procrastinating. You need to make some fucking decisions. It's time for you to take action. The Empress card is about do something. Like, bitch, move. Like, you can't just sit on your morals. It's time. fine. And you need to do some research before you act. So this is not like, la, 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 you know, everything just falls for you. You literally have to.
Yes, you are.
So you have to do some research and figure it out, and then you have to move. Like, not in your mind, in the world, right? So doing the affirmations and stuff that we talked about, you have to be in your body. When you're stagnant like that, now granted, for some people, procrastination is a sign of um, healing from trauma, right? But no, man, that's not what this is. It's the hesitation, it's the not knowing, it's the lack of insurity. And the thing is, it happens and you feel that way because you're out of your body, right? If you come down in your body, like present in your body,
You guys to come to me, you gotta be here.
then you can move with confidence. There's less to be afraid of, right? But if you have more of yourself out of your body than in your body, you're less aware, you're less engaged, and it's a scarier place. Okay. So I'm gonna pull Shannon's card and then I'll do yours. All right, Shannon, take a deep breath. Like, took a deep breath. Did you see those cards that go? They're kind of flying all over the place. Okay. Can you hand me that one? Okay. Let's see what we got here. Is that all of them? Did someone go under the table? Okay, so we have the Nine of Summer, we've got life experience, we have the Star, we have the King of Summer, and the Ten of Springs. So initially, that immediately says like you don't like asking for help, and
Very true.
You got to be willing to ask for help, right? We're not an island. We grow with support, right? The more support we have, the more we can grow because we can move away from the smaller things and move on to the bigger things, or the things that you're not an expert at, get some help in that stuff so you can really excel at what is so you can really excel at what you're good at, right? So there are some old belief systems, is what life experience says to me, is that you've got some old belief systems that don't serve you anymore, that you are trying to transition out of. Like, it's like, I lived like that, and maybe that's how you were brought up, but it don't work. And I'm trying to figure out like, what's the next step? What is new? But the Star says there's hope. There's a lot of optimism. There's a lot of power in your faith, right? So what you decide is your new belief system. When you put your faith in that, like, this is it for me, you're going to be able to move mountains. There's a lot of celebration there. The Nine of Summers is about your dreams fulfilled, having a magical life and wishes coming true. So to get to that side is about really, I release whatever this old system is and like fully stepping in to what your new system is. And I don't know. So there's somebody close to you that is trying to give you advice, and it could be like a romantic partner or a partner, somebody that knows you well, or something like that. But they're trying to give you advice, and the advice that they're giving you is actually relatively good advice, right? So you want to take it in, be like, okay, I hear you, and then make your decision and move forward, because once you get there, there's no stopping you, right? The burning of the bridge, the leaving the old belief system behind is the challenge, right? But that's, you do it, all your wishes come true. Like it literally says that's what that card is. So all wishes come true. So no worries. I don't know if you can see that.
Okay.
Yes. So okay. So now Diana's here. Yes.
Okay.
You're welcome and welcome. I'm gonna put the replay in the group so you'll be able to watch and participate and go at your own pace. We still have 2 more days in this full moon energy. So, you know, anytime you're ready, I'm gonna pull cards for Diana now. See, I have a right there. Thank you. I'm just gonna clear the card. All right. So for you guys who are not familiar with Diana, I'm gonna pull these cards and then she's gonna fight with me.
Listen,
Because she always is trying to, you know, argue with the messenger. And I'm literally
I be talking to my guys.
just the messenger. Like she has, and she does have this whole dialogue with her guides because she don't like the message. But literally, it's been like that
My whole life.
her whole life. So I'm gonna pull the cards. She ain't gonna be happy with them. And
it's
so
not that I don't be happy. It's just be like, bro, like, you could tell me something else. I already knew that.
they want to know if you already know why you ain't doing it.
Or
Take a deep breath, ma'am.
I don't. Okay.
All right, here we go.
Wow.
You're getting like 20 cards.
Because she don't listen.
Everything that they say.
Mm-hmm.
But I do it. But what's crazy is like y'all say that, but I do it by myself too. When I pull my own cards, and by myself, I'll be at the kitchen table, pull cards. Like, listen, for real.
I honestly have that same experience. I used to pull cards for myself every single day. And then I was like, look, bitch, like this is not working for me. I can't be hearing this message
over and over again. One time I like for 1 week straight, I had the same 3 cards. So,
I was like, am I being punked right now?
What's about to do cards out the day? And then barely could get cards to fall out. I was like, all right.
All right, so here we go. We have Awakening, the Will, the Star, the 9 of Spring, the 9 of Summer, Princess of Winter, the King of Winter, and the Queen of Autumn. Excuse me. She got all this. Okay. You have to change the way you are looking at the situation that you're in. Clear. So awakening is like the hangman, right? How you're looking at shit is fucked up. It's backwards. Flip it upside down, right? When you do that, you have the star, which is what she just had. Then you can, there's a lot of optimism and there's great things in your future, but not if you're upside down. So when you're upside down, you are in, it's like you're in blessing and you feel like you're in mess.
I do. And I know I am. That's how I feel. I am blessed and messed up right now. But go ahead. Keep going.
The Will card is, as you know, there's no delays, right? Yeah. Nothing is stopping you. You have some travel, new car. Poking us right now. Okay, so they want you to be practical. I'm trying. You need to set up that 9 of Spring. So so the 9 of Spring is like essentially we're doing the class. She said I'm a blessed mess. She's like, so protecting the seeds of your labor, right? So I'm doing the class. Build that trust structure. Get your stuff set up. Get your stuff set up now. Build your trust structure. Make sure the LLCs are where they're supposed to be, because you've got your wishes coming true, dreams being fulfilled. Your wishes are financially based.
Yes.
You've got to have that money in the right place. You have to have the structure set up so it can flow, so you can move it appropriately. Otherwise, you pay in the end, right? Get advice from a professional.
Oh, I love that you laughing. You think it's funny. She thinks she the professional. That's why she laughing, y'all. I'm not trying to hear that. My mama? Okay, word.
Mom life. Listen, I'm in here right now. I'm reading cards for my daughter. I understand mom life, but literally, I have 8 kids, so I get it. This is being recorded, so when we get off, I'll put it into the main chat, and you can watch and go through the whole ritual with us. And so no worries. Um, and also, you're going to get information. It's difficult to hear, but it's the truth. Rolling her eyes at me like I literally.
But like I already know, like I've been really procrastinating on the thing. I don't know why. Like I just gotta take what you have and do it, but I don't know. Talking about
So we're talking about the financial stuff. So one of the classes that that I'll be teaching in university is the financial aspect. So Diana is really good and has been, is really versed at credit repair and things like that, because I used to own a credit business. I taught her, she ran with it, learned even more techniques and what have you. But right now, what I'm doing is I'll be teaching on, like, we've set up our family trust, turn the family trust into a bank, developed LLCs for funding and, for income. And part of that class, I'll be teaching like how to move the money from, your LLC or from your job right now, how to get your insurance set up so that it creates your own family bank for your family, through the life insurance policies and what have you. So we're living through that as I do it. And that's what I'm going to be teaching later in the month. But that was that message when I said, like, it's showing like you are waiting, but you need to get that together, especially when you have really big financial goals. Sometimes when we have access to things that will set us up in the way that we want to be set up, we delay. So like, you want a lot of money, but you want to live a certain way, right? Some people just want money and they don't care. They are willing to pay the taxes on it. They don't want to have, tax shelters. They don't want to do any of those things, and that's okay. So you start a business and money flows, right? You have to have streams for money to come to you regardless. But when you want to live like more of a corporate lifestyle where you don't have to work, you have some things running on autopilot and you're able to get funding to put into those things so that you don't have to work anymore. Right. And this is what I'm teaching the kids. Like, if you want to, they're too old now. I mean, just saying.
Not really. Say
To be like my grandkids, technically the babies part, right? But they're able, even from what I'm doing right now, to be very, very financially stable. The point is, as adults, for them to not just live in the structure that I create, but for them to create their own. Why? Because then they benefit from their own structure and they benefit from my structure. And that's really the lifestyle that she wants. But you have to create the structure first. Listen, don't make me throw something at you. Okay. So who is this? Am I saying your name right? Let me see. I don't even have my glasses.
can't see the name.
What is it? KR. Thank you, baby. Let's see. Krishma? Karishma. I was close. Okay. Listen, I try not to screw people's names up because people have butchered my name my whole life. So it's important. Okay, so I'm going to clear the cards. I'm going to pull cards for you. And I'll just tell you, like, welcome. It's nice to meet you all. If you're skittish about what's going to be said, but you want to hear, it's better to book a reading than like do the public because I cannot ever really control. I try to be as gentle as possible, but like I'm more of a tell it as it is through my own, my own filter. So I do curse a lot for those who are sensitive to that. Just be prepared. So take a deep breath for me. Still a little sticky. Here we go. Okay. Let's make sure that's all. Okay, now that's all. Okay, you've got a lot of cards here. Here we go. So we've got life experience, the Lover's card, the Wheel card, autumn, the Sun card, autumn, spring, and a little bit of summer. So your first card among the major arcana cards is the life experience, right? So life experience always means that you're letting go of old beliefs, right? You've been living in an old paradigm. It's time to let it go. This is the confirmation that the things you feel like don't serve you really don't, right? So either you are in or going to have or have had like a life-changing event and or a situation that's going to lead to a lot of a significant opportunity, but it is outside of whatever it was your old life paradigm. So you also have the Lovers, the Wheel, and the Sun. Okay, so the Sun lets us know in the end, things work out, right? Plans work out perfectly. The stuff that you plan, it feels like you're probably a planner. You get rewarded for that, right? There's nothing stopping you. The card means that it's time to go, right? You don't really have obstacles. You've got to just move. Oh, the life experience is like, let it go. Let it go. And literally, it's like getting in the water and letting the waves take you because it's going to take you. There's nothing there to really stop you. And I don't, I'll read the rest of the cards, but the Lover card basically says like you've got a lasting love, something that's coming from your heart. Now this could be a child, this could be a significant other, this could be an idea or an opportunity that you've been cultivating. I don't know right now if it's an actual person, but whatever it is, whatever your heart and soul is in, it's perfect for you. Um, you work too much, like you're too serious, so they want you to bring more fun into what you do. Like you spend a lot of time multitasking, and that's not always fun, although you're very good at it, right? But um they want you to have more fun and more patience, right? So you made investments, whether that's in time, whether that's in money, all that's paying out. The good that you've done in the past, that's what the autumn is all about, right? So the good that you've done in the past is coming back to you. The money that you invested, the things that you put away is going to multiply. This is now, you are literally in the harvest season of whatever work you have been doing. The spring is like, and that's what your spring summer is about. Whatever it is, this is the autumn cards, but it is about your harvest. Everything that you have been doing, the hard work, the patience, the expression of gratitude, even when it feels like there isn't anything to be thankful for, it's coming back. So the Six of Spring says you've got wonderful news on the way. So there's some success there, some recognition, but it is time for you to take action. So the stuff that you've planned out, like I said, right, plans work out perfectly. it's time to act on those plans because they do work out perfectly. And they want you to now plan in a longer period of time. So make long-term plans versus your short-term plans.
Mhm.
They're acknowledging through the 8 of summer that you are desiring a life that has more meaning. And as long as you move into that,
Mhm.
as long as you move into that, there's nothing stopping you. So when you get there, right, and you are like, listen, this no longer serves me, you're realizing that it's time to move on, and you're to make some major life changes, right? That's two different cards that are saying major life changes are happening for you, but go with it. Once you
Okay.
once the wheel gets moving, there's no stopping you, and there's nothing but good for you. So if you're worried about the money is going to show up. If you're worried about, how things are going to work out, or if the seeds you've already planted are going to blossom, they are. Everything, all the good that you've done is definitely coming back to you without a doubt.
Thank you. That means a lot. I am a social worker and clinical therapist, but I've been suffering from major depression since January 3rd for 4.5 months. And I've been extremely isolated and just all kinds of messed up. So this means a lot when you said life experiences, good things are on the way. So that means a lot.
Definitely. And when you're that type of therapist, like, you really have to take care of yourself.
And I haven't. Yeah, my self-care is out the window, and then I let go of a very toxic relationship. So I think somewhere you said that something that's not serving me, I let go.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
you're very, very welcome. But do increase your self-care, right? So
Yeah.
Even if you start with, so I don't even know that I have it in the group, but like on TikTok, I have a video pin that, like, you could recognize it because it's like the viral video from last year, right? It had like 1 million views, but it teaches and it shows the energy exercise on how to get your energy within your body to run in the proper direction, which is forward and cross, and then how to lock it. Okay. So if you're working with people and you're doing clinical work and things like that, raise your energy, get it running in the right direction, and then lock it. It will stop you from absorbing. A lot of times, how we feel, especially when our energy isn't protected, isn't even from us. We naturally, especially when you're in that type of field, you naturally want to help people, you naturally want to heal people. And a lot of the stuff we feel isn't even ours. We've just taken it on because we want the people we care about and the people we work with to feel better. So when you start releasing some of that and even asking your body, like, is this mine? When you're in a toxic relationship, they literally play a game. So I learned this last year, right? The whole thing of chivalry was something that the knights made up to convince women to be with them, right? Because at that time, women were like, they would rather be one of multiple wives and be financially cared for than to be the wife of a knight who didn't even really have a house. So they came up with romance to convince women that being romanced was way more important than having money. And so we bought into it and we started dating men, right, who couldn't financially support us. But it's the same tactic when low value men will utilize the concept of, mental and emotional abuse to try to keep you at a level where you're willing to accept their behavior and be with them, or they can implant concepts of, you know, this is the best you're going to get. So you've got to start shaking off, and literally on TikTok, there's like a whole playlist, and it's probably in here in the visiting goddess section. I think I posted a lot of those videos, but like how to shake off some of that energy, how to get your energy running in the right direction, and how to lock your energy so you're less susceptible. But the more that you lock your energy, you're absorbing less, and it allows you to process and release some of the stuff you're already carrying, just so you can start feeling better. All right. So if there are no questions, I'm going to put the replay. It takes about 10 or 15 minutes for it to render, and then I will drop it in the group so you can watch the whole ritual and follow along if you guys want to. If you end up having questions, please post them. I am in here daily, and we'll answer as much as I possibly can. And hopefully I'll see you guys at our next event, which I don't even know what it is. Wednesdays and Fridays, I do a morning reset and mini meditation. If you'd like to join that and you find it the same way, it'll be flashing in here that I'm live. But outside of that, I'm glad you made it. I appreciate your time, your energy, you guys being here with me. And hopefully I will see you guys again soon. All right. Good night. Happy new moon or full moon. We're in the full moon. Bye. Yeah.